Hello, this is Onyx Tarot Readings, and today I'm going to be talking about this Venus and Virgo transit now through August the 6th. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for hitting the like button and subscribing. And let's go ahead and hop into my thoughts, predictions, and what I think that we are collectively supposed to be learning now through August the 6th, and then also in love and friendships and relationships for the rest of 2026. Okay, so Venus in Virgo is here, and Venus, of course, rules relationships, friendships, beauty, values, partnerships, business partnerships, and Virgo rules details, effort, work ethic, routines, service, discernment, finding ways to improve yourself, improve your life. So together, this Venus and Virgo transit asks, is our relationship actually healthy? Are our friendship reciprocal? Is this investment worth it? Does it matter, or does it make sense to invest in this certain thing? Is my particular job and role that I'm in, is it worth my energy? Is there something better? Is there something else? Is this person actually showing up for me like I'm showing up for them? So essentially, Virgo is wanting evidence. Virgo wants to see. And I have a lot of Virgo friends and a lot of people around me who are Virgos, and they are the most analytical, detail-oriented, thought-provoking people that I know. So basically, you're going to be sitting and analyzing all of your relationships, all like things that you're putting your time into, your day-to-day, those kind of things, especially now through August the 6th. So when I look at the transits and, a lot of of course, the astrology transits align with a lot of the readings that I do, energetically, collectively. So I like to look at the transits and see, like, what is this asking, us? What are we going to be deciding collectively? And I feel that this Venus and Virgo transit is going to be telling us to ask for what we want, but also asking for clarity or consistency or commitment. So essentially, it's like, what do you want out of a relationship? What do you want from this family partnership and this family dynamic? What do you want from your career? What do you want from your health? What do you want from this thing or that thing? Like, that is going to be basically the question and the themes that collectively we're going to be seeing now at this end of July through August the 6th. I feel that with our relationships, our friendships, dynamics being highlighted at this time, some of you are going to be realizing, okay, this is what I want, this is what I deserve, and this is perfect, this is fine. Others of you may be realizing, okay, we need to work on this. And others of you are going to be realizing this person never intended on putting mutual effort. This person never intended on evolving or changing. This work environment was never meant for me to thrive, that kind of thing. So essentially, you're going to be seeing the very honest, think analytical, think just black and white on paper truth of the dynamics of where we're putting our time and energy and the people that we are investing in. So as far as our relationships go, I don't believe that this is necessarily like a big breakup transit. But I do think, again, this Venus and Virgo transit is more so like an audit. So it's like, you're going to be keeping score essentially on all of the things that you're investing in, all the people you're investing in, who you're dating, where you're spending your time, how you're spending your money. And essentially, you're going to be looking again for things that are balanced, things that are imbalanced. If you're putting in mutual effort with someone or mutual effort in a relationship. If you've accepted things that you're like, dang it, I shouldn't have accepted that from this person. And then sitting and analyzing, why did I accept that? So there's a lot of things also about patterns with this Virgo aspect of this transit. So again, a lot of you are going to be seeing this and analyzing people almost like you're the manager of your own life, right? As you are, but you're going to be managing like your friendships, your relationships, your partnerships, your hangouts, your investments, all of these things. So there's a lot of questions that we may be asking ourselves at this time. And it could have to do with, do I trust this person? Do they trust me? Who reaches out first? Who apologizes? When there's disagreement, is it me reaching out first, right? In a relationship, am I the one that is doing and putting in all the effort? Am I I the only one that's making all the plans? Is this person someone that only pops up only when they need something, right? Are they benefiting more from a relationship than I'm benefiting? Is this a mutual beneficial relationship? So essentially, there are a lot of these dynamics that people are, again, collectively going to be looking into. If you have a business, are you in a business where you've been investing the most and you've been doing the most and you're not getting really the outcome that you're wanting? Are you charging enough, right? Are you doing things for free? Are you not working enough? Are you not doing something enough, right? It's basically just going to be a transit where, again, you all are going to be affected in different ways, especially tied to how Virgo interacts with your birth chart. But again, generally, I do feel that you're going to be analyzing different areas and different aspects of your life in order to essentially get to a space where you can be confident in who you're going to choose and what you're going to choose and how you're going to spend your time and your money and your investments and who you're going to be with and who you're not going to be with for the rest of this year. Because again, the rest of the Venus transit, like August is going to be interesting enough, but also September, October, November, December. I feel that by December, a lot of us are going to kind of basically have a new refined type way of doing our relationships and friendships. It also may be something that you all are thinking about as far as like people that you may have idealized, right? If we think about the opposite of Virgo, which is Pisces, the dreamer, you guys may have been idolizing certain people, certain relationships, even family relationships or literal relationships, or how you saw people that you looked up to, or again, idolized. You could have been making excuses for certain people and their behavior. I also feel that this is going to be a really good time too to kind of see the patterns of your relationships and of your friendships and of your partnerships. Is this person the same person that they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Are they handling relationships, friendships, partnerships, business partnerships in the same way that they have? I do feel that the most important thing is to understand who is this person today, right? July 2026. Who is this person today? Not who will this person become. Like, you're really going to be, it's going to be hard to avoid taking stock of who someone really is. It's going to be very like a sobering type of vibe at this time. But again, it's really more so to prepare you for the rest of this year. So Venus also rules money too. So collectively, you all could be looking at how you're spending or what you're spending your money on. You could be looking at your values and, your values of money and what you want to invest in. Some of you could be changing your wardrobe completely, or, focusing more on the things that make you excited. You could be revamping your home or moving, changing things with your hair. There's a lot of things that people are going to look into and kind of start to refine. You will see that there are better options for things. Even again, if it's like the type of water you drink or places you go, places that you invest into, things that you use on your skin. Additionally, a lot of us are going to be collectively outgrowing people. So it's not really because they're bad or you're better or they're worse. It's just more so this timing is about alignment changes, right? Because again, really think of us heading into August. The rest of this year is going to literally be preparing us, of course, for 2027. So you may find that people that you're friends with right now at this, end of July, that when January comes, you may actually not even spend time with this person or be with this person or be in this group, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things about, communication, morals, maturity, doing things the right way, people doing things the right way with business as well is going to be really highlighted. You could start to see, people that cut corners or they have facades or they're, doing things that are not in the right way. You could see these businesses start to kind of reflect that. But essentially, there could be things that you start to outgrow, even if it's like a lifestyle, right? You could be changing like the way that you eat or your habits or, daily habits, those kind of things. But basically this transit is going to be shifting us to creating like a healthier distance from people, places, things that we have outgrown. So if you find yourself like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do less of this, or I want to do less of that, definitely trust your gut, because you may be onto something. And even if you don't kind of make a change right now, like I said, with the rest of the transits for the rest of the year, I do feel that by the end of this year, a lot of you may write down certain things that you want to shift before January 2027. And you may find that you've actually completely, stopped doing something that you were doing right now. So today, when I'm filming this, it is July the 26th. So essentially, when this is posted a little bit later, we're going to be actually having the North Node entering Aquarius and the South Node entering Leo. So essentially, this is definitely highlighting like what we're moving away from, what has been comfortable, and what we are moving forward towards. So with the North Node and Aquarius, as of, when you all are going to be hearing this, is basically going to be asking us, who do you want to become? What people do you want around you? What communities actually fit you? Who do you want to be involved with business-wise, friendship-wise? What kind of work do you want to be known for? What causes and groups or nonprofits, volunteering, what actually matters to you, right? Is there things that you show up for that don't really matter and don't really align with you, don't really benefit you, that you're just kind of showing up for out of comfort? Is also going to ask who we want to collaborate with, who we want to work with, what groups we want to work with. And essentially, let's go back to that Virgo auditor. Like all of these things, you may start to feel like, okay, who am I? Who have I been? Who do I want to become? It's basically like, think like one of those not Build-A-Bear games, but like think about one of the games you used to play maybe on the computer or on a program where you're literally building your life. That's kind of the vibe of this transit. And really, I feel the rest of this year generally, like each month is going to prepare us for the next month, essentially. So I was thinking, right, when I was doing my notes for this, and if someone suddenly starts losing everyone, like their friendships, their relationships, their business partners, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily a bad person, but essentially it may mean that they are kind of at an impasse, and they need to really look at why these relationships, why these friendships, why these partnerships are no longer aligned. So if you're the one that's pulling away from people at this time, it's going to be important not to assume that you're abandoning people. Like, oh, I don't want to be around this person anymore. It's really, again, you all trusting your gut and understanding that you're basically creating where you're heading and what you're going forward towards, if that makes sense. Like these friendships, these relationships could naturally just kind of phase out as the rest of this year goes by. And again, it's really for a reason. Like you're doing different things that certain people aren't going to be doing. You're going to be in a different direction than a lot of people that have been comfortable, right? Again, think the South Node, people that are comfortable things that we have been doing routinely. A lot of us are going to be shifting out of that. So again, some of you all may be pulling away from people, places, things, dynamics, and others of you may be seeing other people, going through breakups, going through endings, going through, like I mentioned a little earlier, you could see businesses that aren't really aligned well at this point, kind of going in different directions, or their business reflecting that. Whatever you're seeing is because people are no longer aligning with each other. And again, it's all to essentially prepare us for what is better and what is more aligned. I will say that looking at the astrology for the rest of this year is very fascinating to me, because again, I just looked at all of the rest of the Venus transits, and each month, like I keep saying this because I'm like, wow, this is so crazy. Each month is going to prepare us for the next. So let's kind of talk through this. Venus in Virgo, starting now through the end of July, is going to be asking us, where do we stand? What is the truth about our connections, our friendships, our partnerships? What deserves more effort from our end? What deserves less effort, right? What can we focus on, right? What am I tolerating that I shouldn't be tolerating for the future? What doesn't feel right to me, right? Which is going to lead us to August, which again is going to be very interesting. So Venus is going to be in Libra in August, and you're going to be looking at, okay, now that I've audited, right? Now that I've looked at everything, What do I want to choose, right? Libra rules fairness, balance, justice. What partnerships, what things, what places feel balanced to me? What lifestyle feels balanced to me? Where do I want to go? What kind of person do I want to be? How do I want to dress? Who do I want to work with? So a lot of you all are going to be choosing now that you've had like a clear vision of what you want in the future. This then leads us to September, Venus and Scorpio. So now that we've made all of these choices, can we go a little bit deeper, right? Can I trust this new direction or trust this decision? What kind of commitment do I actually want? What friendships are real and which ones are fake? Who do I feel emotionally safe with? What friendships and dynamics only exist because it's convenient? Essentially, Venus and Scorpio is going to ask for more depth based on the people that you have in your life, the decisions you have in your life, which again is why I'm kind of like, whatever decisions and whatever things that you guys are coming to a realization about, it could be very helpful to kind of like really understand what you really feel about your job, about your relationship, about your partnership, about your city that you live in, about your lifestyle, your day-to-day, because each month is going to get deeper and deeper to kind of like reflect back to you, almost like a mirror of why you chose this thing and if it aligns with who you are becoming and who you're going to be. As we go into late October and November with Venus and Sagittarius, we've gone very deep, right? With Venus and Scorpio. We've audited, we've analyzed, our relationships and our partnerships and how we want to appear and how we want to dress and where we want to live, right? We've been through all of that. So now we're going to be faced with the question, does this person, place, thing, dynamic, job, lifestyle, does it actually expand my life, Venus and Sagittarius, or am I trying to escape it? So again, that's why I keep saying that it's basically whatever you're understanding about your life right now and where things are is literally going to be basically more and more confirmed if it's right for you and if it aligns with you or it doesn't each month of this year. So some of us are going to be in a space where we're super excited and we're like, yes, I'm living the life and the day-to-day and the things that I want to do and what I'm excited about. And others may kind of be in a space where they're like, hold on, this person doesn't align with me. I don't like this schedule. I don't like this thing. I don't like this friend. I don't like this person that I'm with. Because Sagittarius wants freedom, right? Sagittarius wants expansion. It wants purpose. It wants learning. It wants someone to grow with. There's something that they can grow into. And sometimes freedom comes from commitment, right? And sometimes freedom comes from leaving. So that is the discernment that basically this Venus and Virgo transit is preparing us for, in my opinion. So again, the choice is essentially yours. You don't have to, sit and analyze and sit and audit and figure out what you want to do. You really don't have to do that, right? But if you ignore the things that you're noticing, if you ignore the things that your gut is like, I really want to, really sit and analyze this situation. If you're ignoring that, each of the Venus transits month to month are essentially going to push us to choosing. And then as you get deeper and deeper, you're going to, again, have that mirror of saying, oh my gosh, that was the best decision. Or, oh my gosh, why am I doing this with this person? Or why am I doing this in this lifestyle? Or why am I eating in this way? Or why am I friends with this person? Or why am I paying for this thing? That kind of thing. So basically the same question is going to be asked essentially like in a different font, essentially month to month. So with this North Node and Aquarius, I wanted to go through each of the houses very quickly, kind of just briefly look into wherever your house is of Aquarius in your birth chart, kind of like what this transit is going to be focusing on and what you guys could be looking into to kind of shift and change the most. So if you have Aquarius in the first house, if you're in Aquarius rising, basically you could be becoming who you actually are. You could be shifting your appearance or how you do things. You could be shifting your job. You could be, appearing to people in one way and be completely shifting that. But essentially, you're going to be becoming who you actually are, not basically what you're comfortable doing for many years and you're unhappy with doing it or who people know you to be. You could definitely be shifting your appearance, your identity, all of those things with this transit. If Aquarius is in your second house, you guys could be focusing on your money, your security, your self-worth. You could be going through different ways of savings or looking at your job, looking at what you're going to do, in the future. There could be themes where you all are looking at certain ways of spending or certain lifestyles, certain habits that are going to continue to reflect to you. This is how I really feel about myself, or I deserve better, or this is what I'm going to be doing to show myself how much I care and value myself. So essentially, there's going to be an opportunity to build or rebuild the definition of yourself and also your security. If Aquarius is in your third house, a lot of you could be learning, communicating, talking, doing things on social media, friends, all of these things. You could basically be in a space where you're changing the way that you think about certain things and changing the way that you communicate. You could be learning a different language. You could be talking on like a different platform or creating a platform for yourself. You could be talking to different kinds of people. But essentially, I do feel that there may be something that you are doing, like the way that you're learning or a program. You could be, in a certain belief system that you may be changing or shifting. You may communicate with people that are completely different from you, that kind of thing. But essentially, that is what I see for Aquarius in the third house. With Aquarius in the fourth house, you guys could definitely be focusing on home, family life, and where you're wanting to go, right? Where do you want to live? What is stable to you? What kind of family do you want? Essentially, you're going to be outgrowing or seeing that you've outgrown a lot of different things. And a lot of you all are going to be building your home or your place of home or bettering certain aspects of your living environment so that you guys could be happy, not only for now, but for the future. If you have Aquarius in the fifth house, you guys could definitely be working on hobbies, creating more, doing art, doing things that you used to do, fun things. You could be hanging out with friends more, expressing yourself more, blogging, but basically anything that brings you excitement and joy for creativity, you guys could be focusing on. If Aquarius is in your sixth house, you guys could be really focusing on your daily habits and what you need to do to shift your life for your future and where you want your life to be, what you're eating every day, what you're doing every day, what time are you waking up? There's things like that you all could definitely be shifting. That could be your main focus during this transit. For Aquarius in the seventh house, you guys could be having a lot of focus on your relationships. So you guys could definitely want relationships and partnerships that allow you and the other person to grow. You guys could have definitely been in a space where you were putting a lot more effort into one person, or there could have been something that was, that you were in and connected to and not really growing the way that you wanted to, or taking opportunities that you would have done, that kind of thing. So I do feel that a lot of you are going to be focusing on certain relationships that definitely support you in the future. If you have Aquarius in your eighth house, you could definitely be focusing on healing, processing past situations. You could be focusing on intimacy. You could be focusing on shared resources, things that you share with other people, financially, responsibility wise. But this could definitely be a space where you all are analyzing the things that you went through and focusing on where you want to be in the future and who's involved in that in the future and what that looks like. If you have Aquarius in the ninth house, you all could be expanding your belief system. You could be learning, you could be traveling, you could be changing religions or going to school or going back to school or starting a program. But essentially, you guys are going to be shifting your belief of something. It could be a lifestyle. It could be a way of doing things. I always believed that I would be in this role and this thing for a long time. That may be shifting for you all. If you have Aquarius in the 10th house, you guys could be building a reputation around what you're authentically, genuinely meant to do. So this is about especially career wise, there could have been a certain thing that you never really did or you never really stepped into that you may be forced to step into, especially tied to the future. If there's something that your higher spirit basically is oh yeah, they're going to be this in the future. You're going to see a lot of opportunities happen that are naturally going to push you into that direction. So again, a lot of you all could be building a reputation, a good reputation around, oh, that person is really good at that, or that's what they're known for. And you're going to get a lot of opportunities that reflect that. Your gut could also be telling you, ooh, I want to start this. I want to do this. And you may find, now through like say December, oh my gosh, I started that. My gut was telling me to start that. I didn't really know why, but I started it or started doing this, and it actually led me or supported where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be known for. If you have Aquarius in the 11th house, you guys could be finding communities that reflect your future instead of like what you're used to. So you could be joining like run clubs or, where you're running together with strangers that end up being your new community. You could be going to different events. You could be hanging out in different areas. You could be traveling to different areas. Essentially, you're going to be focusing on communities and friendships and friendship groups that align with you versus, again, what is comfortable for you all. You could be getting invitations to certain things that you may be like, I'm not sure if I really want to go to that. And you may find like your new best friend there, that kind of thing. And last but not least, if Aquarius is in your 12th house, you guys could be releasing subconscious patterns that have certain cycles and relationships or patterns repeating over and over and over again. So there could be certain things that you guys may be like, dang it, why does this keep happening? Or why am I dating the same person? Or why does this keep failing? And you guys may kind of realize, oh, okay, this is why. Or I trusted this person too easily. Or I wanted to connect with this person to the point that I didn't look at who they really were. Or there's certain things that you guys may say, dang it, why does that keep happening? And you may actually get the answers to what that is so that you guys could have the opportunity to change it. So as we close this podcast, this Venus and Virgo transit is not really asking us who's leaving our life or what's leaving our life and what's the permanent closing and ending, right? It's really more so asking, what am I no longer willing to put up with, and what do I want in my life? What do I want to put effort into? What feels more peaceful to me for the future? What do I feel most comfortable investing in because I know that it aligns with me long term? What type of person am I becoming? Who am I now? Who was I then? And where am I going to be in the future? Am I preparing myself for the future me of the opportunities that I know are going to come forward towards me and I want to be ready for? Or are the things that I'm doing or the people I'm investing in or engaging with or the lifestyles and the habits and the hobbies and all these things that I'm doing, are these things keeping me stuck in the past version of myself? So again, now through, the end of this year, there may be a lot of shifts and changes, but I feel that the more that we analyze why it's happening and not trying to, force things that don't align with us and kind of like moving again towards who we're meant to be, I feel that these, last 6 months of this year will definitely go a lot smoother. So those are my thoughts on the Venus and Virgo transit. Definitely feel free to share your thoughts below. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and I will see you soon.